Tinapay mula sa langit. A daily morning devotion with CRC Family.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Anne-Marie Katapang from CRC Batangas. Kayo po ay nakikinig sa programang Tinapay Mula sa Langit, ang pang-araw-araw nating devotion sa salita ng Diyos. Bago po tayo magsimula, samahan niyo po ako sa isang maikling panalangin. Panginoong Jesus, maraming salamat po sa umagang ito sa panibagong buhay, kalakasan at sa pag-iingat na patuloy mo pong ipinagkakaloob sa bawat isa sa amin. Nawa Panginoon ay patawarin mo po kami sa lahat po ng aming nagagawang pagkakasala sa isip, sa salita at sa gawaman. At ganoon din Lord sa maghapong ito na dadaan po sa aming pamumuhay. Nawa Lord patuloy mo po kaming ingatan, ilayo sa anumang karamdaman, kapahamakan Panginoon at sa iyo namin ibinabalik ang pinakamataas na papuri, parangal at pagdakila na nararapat lamang sa iyo. Sa iyo po ang aming papuri, parangal at pagdakila sa tanging pangalan mo lamang Panginoong Jesus. Amen. Ang title po ng ating devotion sa umagang ito ay pinamagatang Abraham's Plea. Basahin po natin ang Genesis 23 verse 3 to 15. Sabi po sa verse 3, Then Abraham rose from beside his dead wife and spoke to the Hittites. He said, I am a foreigner and stranger among you. Sell me some property for a burial site here so I can bury my dead. Verse 5, The Hittites replied to Abraham. Verse 6, Sir, listen to us. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will refuse you his tomb for burying your dead. Verse 7, Then Abraham rose and bowed down before the people of the land, the Hittites. Verse 8, He said to them, If you are willing to let me bury my dead, then listen to me and intercede with Ephron son of Zohar on my behalf. Verse 9, So he will sell me the cave of Machpelah, which belongs to him and is at the end of his field. Ask him to sell it to me for the full price as a burial site among you. Verse 10, Ephron and the Hittite was sitting among his people, and he replied to Abraham in the hearing of all the Hittites who had come to the gate of the city. Verse 11, No, my lord, he said, listen to me. I give you the field, and I give you the cave that is in it. I give it to you in the presence of my people. Bury your dead. Verse 12, Again, Abraham bowed down before the people of the land. Verse 13, And he said to Ephron in their hearing, Listen to me if you will. I will pay the price of the field. Accept it from me so I can bury my dead there. Verse 14, Ephron answered Abraham. Verse 15, Listen to me, my lord. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver, but what is that between you and me? Bury your dead. Abraham is one of the most fascinating characters in the Bible. His life was defined by a step of faith that would go on to change the world. When you read about Abraham in the book of Genesis, his faith is front and center. But what it is like to be Abraham? What was it like to live in faith like that? And what it like for us as Christians to walk by faith every day. After Abraham mourns for his wife, he approaches the Hittite people of the area with a request. The Hittites would be the descendants of Noah's grandson in Canaan, making them part of the original Canaanites. Abraham comes before an assembled group of the Hittite landowner or elder, perhaps in the city gate of Hebrews. In Genesis 23 verse 3 to 6, Abraham presents himself to them as a foreigner and sojourner. He requests that they give him a piece of property to use as a burial place. Their response is gracious. They know Abraham well. They call him a prince of God among them. Abraham was a foreigner, but he was also quite wealthy and clearly blessed by God in all he did. The Hittites of the area seems to have regarded him as a friend. In fact, the Hittites offer Abraham the choice of any of their own tombs to bury his dead. However, Abraham Abraham wants something more specific. He wants to establish a permanent family burial place of his own in the land of Canaan. He wants to acquire a piece of property that will belong to him and him alone. Once the Hittites state that they are willing for Abraham to bury his dead in a region, Abraham reveals he has a specific property in mind. He singles out Ephron son of Zohar and asks him to purchase a cave of his east of Mamre at Machpelah. In Genesis 23 verse 7 to 15, a negotiation of sorts takes place, couched in the tradition and custom of Middle Eastern bargaining. Ephron offers to give the cave to Abraham along with the field attached to it. Abraham insists on paying for it so there can be no future dispute about who owns it. Ephron dismissively mentioned a price of 400 shekels of silver for the cave and field. Abraham immediately agrees, paying out the price on the spot and in full view of the assembled Hittites. Very quickly, the transaction is concluded and signed off by the Hittites' elder. Finally, Abraham buries Sarah in the cave he now owns in the promised land of Canaan. Later, Abraham himself will be buried there. Isaac, Rebekah, Jacob, and Leah without a battle of any kind. The people of God have begun their occupation of the land God promised gave to Abraham's offerings. So tayo po ngayon ay manalangin. Lord God, maraming salamat po sa salita na patuloy mo pong ipinahahatid sa amin. Tunay nga Lord na alam namin na hindi mo hahayaan na masayang lahat po ng aming mga ginagawa na pagpupuri na pagsunod sa iyo Panginoon. Dahil alam namin Lord, anuman po ang aming ginagawa para sa iyo po ito ay may kabuluhan. Nawa Panginoon, patuloy mo po ang ingatan ng iyong mga anak sa lahat po ng aming mga gagawin, sa lahat po ng aming iniisip at sa lahat po ng aming mga pupuntahan. Ikaw po ang siyang patuloy na manguna at patuloy pong sumama sa bawat isa sa amin. Maraming salamat po. Ito po ang aming dalangin sa pangalan mo lamang Panginoong Jesus. Amen. Thank you for tuning in with us. We hope that you were blessed with the word, and let's share this blessing by sharing this video with our friends and family. See you tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning. God bless us all.